Hello everyone, my name is Larry Lynch and I'm Head of the School of Arts here at Brookes, and welcome to this live Q&A session where we'll be focusing on our programmes in music and publishing. The School of Arts is a really intensive and wonderfully equipped community of practice and study and research here at Brookes, where we run undergraduate, postgraduate and research programmes in music, publishing, film, digital media, fine art. And I've got some students here who are going to share their experience and help you find out more about what we do. Starting with...
My name is Islam. I studied publishing with English Language and Communications.
My name's Faith and I'm in my second year and I study music here at Brookes.
My name's Phil and I'm a third year music student here at Brookes.
Great. Now shall we start by thinking about the kind of support that's available to you during your course? Both specialist support within your subjects, but wider support for your academic practice, your research, your reading, your writing, and especially perhaps when you first arrive settling into Brookes. Maybe start over there with music.
Yeah, well I think music is it's like a family environment. It's not the biggest cohort and there's a really good relationship between the lecturers and the students. And it's vital, when I first settled in here, you come into this new place, it's great to have lecturers who are willing to give up their time to tell you about the university, tell you what to look forward to in the course, how to structure your module you're learning, and ways to, coming from school or from a different education, the learning at university is quite different, it's much more independent. So their advice for me and how to cope with that was really vital, yeah.
Yeah, because obviously, you know, one of the things we do in the School of Arts that's not that common in the sector is we keep our cohort sizes quite small. You know, lots of universities might be taking hundreds and we keep these. Did you feel that? Do you feel that, the relatively modest, small focus size of your cohorts?
Yeah, I think not negatively that it's too small, but I think it's a great number where there's enough people for music to combine with others to do bands, performances, listening to music, just getting involved together, but also that the detail is there so the lecturers can spend focused time with you as an individual.
Great, and Islam, how about in publishing? I mean, you're in your final year. How have you found the support for your studies and your developing work here at Brookes?
I echo exactly what Phil said. It's the same. It feels like a family. You can approach your lecturers, even your classmates.
Okay, now should we talk about facilities? Because all three of you are working in areas that can be quite technically driven, making publications, the sort of magazine, the e-book world, and then different forms of music. How have you found the facilities, maybe in publishing?
The facilities are like awesome. We have a whole room filled with Mac computers. Yeah. Everyone needs Mac computers. With Photoshop, InDesign, everything that you need to design e-books, magazines, etc. That's
good, and you're being quite humble, because of course you are part of the Oxford International Centre for Publishing Studies, so I have to say, which is Europe's preeminent and largest centre for the dedicated study of publishing at undergraduate and postgraduate study. It's super international. Have you felt that as an undergraduate student coming to the end of your time, that you're part of a very, very distinguished community of publishing researchers and practitioners?
Yeah, my lecturers are people who've been in the industry, so they know what they're teaching, and as you said, it's quite multicultural as well. Like I'm Swedish and there are a lot of Norwegians, a lot of people from Russia. Yeah. So,
Faith, tell us about the facilities in music. Are they working for you?
Yep, we've got plenty of practice rooms. We've got the studios that you can book out for recording, and you can book microphones and whatever you need. There's also the new Mac editing suite that's just for music, and it's got all of the composing programs that you'd need for the course on there. So, yeah.
And how have you all found Oxford as a city, as a place to be a student and to be an emerging artist, publisher, musician?
Yeah, well, I think it's fantastic from the music point of view. Yeah. Just the music scene in Oxford is just great.
Yeah, it's a rock and roll heritage place, isn't it?
True, exactly true. And through the course, we are put together in groups or societies, lots of good societies here at Brookes to get involved in. And then the opportunity to go out and not just perform in university to your peers, your lecturers, but also go out and actually perform to a paying audience sometimes. The experience is just great. And it just feels like Oxford is this place, just it's thriving, bubbling, just it's an amazing place to be, I think.
Has that been your experience, Faith, or similar?
Yeah, there's something on every night to go and see if you like in your first year and you're doing the performance module. But as part of that is writing concert reviews. There's the lunchtime concerts on that Brookes palm where you can do that, but there's also loads of concerts within the city that you can go to, and I got out quite a bit going watching other people as well.
And you've talked a bit about the sort of focused sort of community, family atmosphere that we cherish in the School of Arts. How does that figure in terms of your work with academic staff? Are they accessible? Can you hang out and discuss work outside of class?
They're very accessible. I spent an hour with my academic advisor going over some issues that I had, and she was very, very supportive. That was Barbara. They're all very, very approachable.
Yeah. Great. How about you? Have you found the publishing team, you know, to sort of be there for you, to talk, to work, to?
Yeah, definitely. From Leander to Angus.
Yeah.
And if one academic tutor or lecturer don't know the answer to any question you have, they will always refer you to someone else.
Yeah, brilliant. And what kind of modules in music, Faith? What kind of modules have you chosen to take? Because one of the things that Brookes is acknowledged for is the sort of flexibility of its undergraduate programme, so you can really sort of choose your own route sometimes, and you know, find the modules that really suit the developing work you're involved in. Have you taken that path and really focused in on certain modules?
This year I've done both the composition modules that were available this year.
Composition.
Which I found really, really interesting. I've done special study this year, and
what was that?
It's on Vietnamese classicism, and it's really, really interesting, and I'm really enjoying it. And I did a popular music module last semester.
Yeah.
Which I also found really interesting as well.
So do you find, I mean, this is for all of you, that there's the opportunity to strike a balance that suits you between practical work and the more interrogative, inquiry-based classes, if that's what's exciting you at the time?
Yeah, yeah. And there's plenty of opportunities to perform with the societies as well if you're not doing like the performance modules. So you can keep that going if you decide not to do them, but obviously you can still do them as well, which is really good.
So in publishing Islam, are there any sort of real life briefs, sort of industrially focused projects where you're working to an industry brief or engaging with people coming in from the publishing industry worldwide?
Oh yeah, definitely. We have a lot of guest speakers coming in that speak on a lot of things that are quite practical. We have a lot of modules like the editor, and I haven't done this module, but I know that the workflow, you get to come up with a list and actually go and present it to, I think it was the Oxford University Press.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the industrial connections in publishing are really outstanding, so I'm glad to hear that.
They really are.
And for the musicians, in terms of performing your work, what are the kind of performance opportunities that are available to you? Because you know, they've got this incredible music scene in Oxford, but also the stuff here. Where do you perform, and where do you go and hear performed music?
Well, for me, so my speciality is on jazz music, and so that's through the jazz bands. We get opportunity to perform at end of term concerts throughout, and also more out and about in the Bullingdon, just down the road, and out throughout Oxford. I think Faith's more involved in the choral and the orchestras, which maybe you want to say about the lunchtime concerts. And
there's the lunchtime concerts, and then there's the departmental concert, which is at Harcourt Hill as well. There's performances out there in the Hollywell Music Room as well.
I enjoy choral music myself, so you can actually hear sort of world-class choral music for free every night in Oxford. Yeah. Because you just go to the various chapels and hear this extraordinary music. In terms of your futures, what kind of careers are you planning, hoping for, or perhaps that your friends have taken on? I mean, I know with publishing, it's like a pipeline to jobs in the industry. That's what it's known for. So I assume you've already lined up your graduate job and it's kicking off now. How's it?
Not yet.
Not really?
But no, not yet. I want to do a master's in publishing.
Oh, fine, that's fine.
That's better. Yeah,
good. Cool.
Yeah.
So what kind of careers do your peers go on to?
The beauty with the publishing course at Oxford Brookes is that it equips you with all the skills you need to go into. You can go into marketing, PR, editorial.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people are going a lot of varied ways.
Yeah, it's good. And how about you guys? What's the plan?
Yeah, well, building on from that, I think, and the flexibility we spoke about earlier, especially in the music course, it really allows us to choose how we want to study our degree and what we want to focus on. And for myself, I'm not 100% sure on what I want to do. And there's this great module, third year of music, where we get an opportunity to go out into the industry and actually have a placement and experience and reflect on our time there. And I think that sort of thing, going out, work out whether I want to be a teacher or a producer, a performer, and be able to come back and discuss that with a lecturer or your peers, I think that's great.
Or all three, because of
Exactly.
course there are quite a lot of musicians develop portfolio careers where, because all of the people teaching you, who are obviously teachers, educators, are also producers, professional musicians, of course, in their own right. Now, you'll all presumably have done some form of dissertation. How have you taken that on, and what topics have you taken on?
Okay. I'm in my second year, so I haven't yet.
Yeah, well, so I'm in my third year, and I'm in the middle of my dissertation at the moment. And once again, as I've said, I'm into jazz performing. Last year I did an independent study on the origins of jazz. Now my dissertation is focused on the implications of jazz in a positive element throughout the world, so it's the use of it during the Cold War. It's a propaganda tool. So yeah, it's quite
fascinating stuff. Now, what do you feel in music is the sort of approximate split between practical and theoretical study? Now, I know that can vary from student to student because of how flexible the program is, but for you, how do you feel that you've sort of balanced your time between practical work and inquiry and analysis? We shouldn't split those things up really, because they're not like that, but maybe that's the answer to the questioner. Is it depends on the pathway you design.
100%.
Really.
But we don't see thinking and making as two different types of things, and nor should you. Oxford is a centre for publishing globally. Have you had much opportunity to engage with the publishing companies and agencies in town? I mean, you mentioned OUP, but there are others. Have you engaged with them in the course of your degree?
For me, mostly OUP. I know others have gone and done other things, but you have Blackwell's bookshop here as well, and we can, as publishing students, we engage with them as well, especially during the Oxford Literary Festival. And you can get work experience there to understand how the publishing industry works from a sales perspective and also from an editorial
perspective. And you're an international student.
Yeah.
How have you found the support at Brookes for people that are coming to study here from a bit further afield?
Can you be more specific?
Well, do you feel that, for students who are travelling from another country to come to study here at Brookes, who may need, additional orientation or a bit more support settling in because they're just that much further away from? Do you think Brookes does a good job and provides plenty of support?
Of course it does, and always, they do. But always, you also have awesome lecturers at publishing that will go that extra.
Yeah, it makes a big difference coming into a sort of intensive community of practice rather than just being one of 1,000. Yeah. Have you done much within your sort of community, the sort of local community in Oxford? Have you contributed or participated or got involved in stuff at that level, whether that's concerts or teaching or workshops?
Well, I helped Dave Carugo with a local jazz concert, and I was on the soundboard, and I got a bit of work experience because I've never done anything like that.
I heard
before.
This was for a charitable cause, wasn't it? Yeah. Very good, no.
So that was something like in the local community that I got involved with, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Do you feel, because I mean it's a real sort of hallmark of Brookes, it's commitment to all sorts of big social issues. It's I think the world's first fair trade university, but we're in LGBTI History Month at the moment, and the Oxford Human Rights Festival at Brookes is kicking off soon. Do you feel that those big university commitments have tempered your life here at Brookes? Do you know your university is like that, or do you just think that's part of the community feel here?
No, I think we understand the positive qualities, and we understand how lucky we are to be at such a diverse and open university where you can get involved with anything. The support is there for whatever pathway you want to choose, or where you want to develop yourself, that you can always go for it and you'll be supported by everyone. I think it's great. Yeah.
Do you feel that, I mean, for everyone, but maybe publishing first, that through the course of your studies here, particularly the sort of latter half, you're building up a body of work or portfolio that you can take with you into the next phase of your life. So you can, whether you're looking for commissions or it's in a job application, you know, you can sort of say, look, this is who I am, this is what I've achieved and what I can do.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're doing design-related modules, you get to design magazines or ebooks, and you can even do your major project, which is like an alternative to dissertations. So yeah, definitely. And also, you come out with a lot of skills that will be super useful.
How about you guys?
Yeah, 100% I agree. Look, our third year now, looking back on the course of my degree, I've collected compositions, writings, academic writings, and also performance experience. And all these vital things will be so useful after university. Yeah,
I'm the same. Anything interesting that I do, I kind of just like keep it. So I keep programs with concerts I've been involved with. If I get involved with something interesting, I've got a notebook where I write down, oh, I did this that day and what I did. So I can look back at it and go, oh yeah, I did that. It was fun.
Yeah, that's interesting, because when you're sort of moving forward and thinking about your careers, you've got your sort of hard skills, if you like, your technical competencies, but as important, if not more, are those sort of intangible sort of soft skills and aptitudes and insights and knowing that you've got them. So do you feel that as you sort of develop as a person and as an artist and musician, you're aware of what you've got, so that as you go forward you can sort of know what you're playing with and what you've got to offer an employer or an opportunity? Yeah,
I think independently we understand that, but third year, in a similar module to the one with the placement, we had a session where we sat down to see what we could offer employers as music students, what we've learned through our degree, what skills, and I just thought that was so vital. So,
are you all finding that the, you know, at the tail end of your degree, as you begin to think about the next phase, whether that's postgraduate study or a job, that the staff team are kind of taking you through that process, the sort of career development side of a third year? How about you, Islam? Because London Book Fair, do you go to that?
Yes, I've actually signed up to volunteer this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, and just last week we had someone coming from Penguin Random House to talk about opportunities in publishing industry as well.
Good.
So yeah.
For music, we had a careers day the other week, and it was really good because we had it was like a speed dating style format, and we had 10 minutes with different people within the industry where we could go and ask them questions, and it was extremely useful, and I learned quite a bit from people who were actually doing
we have
the things we're interested
Brilliant.
in. So
okay, we're going to wind up in a minute, so one last question for you all. I mean, we've made a focus in many ways, and I'm really pleased that it's like this, of the sort of community and family feel of our school and the arts community here at Brookes. Have you had the opportunity, or could you have the opportunity, to work with students on different courses? Have you made sort of friendships and relationships and sort of professional creative groupings with students from film or media and so on?
Yeah, with film, especially for me, we get contacted with the opportunity to compose for their short films and their bigger pieces. So that's my main contribution to their degree, which is it's great to be able to do that.
How about you, Faith?
I live with someone who does music and film, so we kind of like talk about stuff together.
Yeah, it's kind of it's an obvious one, but it's a cool thing to have practical music programs with a film, film there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Have you engaged much with other territories, sort of maybe communication design, graphics, web stuff, and other sort of kinds of practice?
Yes, not necessarily within my degree, but yes, outside of it, definitely.
But that's even better. How would tell us?
Yeah. So I'm now working on a workshop for some kids, BAME kids, and we are working towards publishing a small book of anthologies, and that requires a lot of people in the music industry or the local music industry to come.
Who are you doing that through? Is that part of the university, or is that?
It is. It is. It's part of Brookes Engage.
Brookes Engage
as well. Yeah.
Which is.
So it's a department at the university that works with the local community to try to connect students with the
Brilliant. Okay, so I think we're probably nearly there, guys. So thank you all so much, and I hope everybody stays tuned, because the next Q&A is with Fine Art.